Good morning. Mike's Garden Time Adventures here, back with another video. I was previously filming this segment and was about 10 minutes into it. This one's going to be a little bit longer, obviously, if it's 10 minutes into it. I've been doing a lot of shorts, but this one I want to show how to transplant a tomato plant from that guy to this guy. Huge difference, I know, huge difference. But what I've learned, tomatoes, when you do it the way I'm going to do it, their root system will take every bit of that pot, and it will, because it has so much room, it will produce like crazy. This is something I tried last season, and I'm doing it this way, and I'll show you. I'm already on my way with one of these tomato plants. This one here is a beefsteak tomato plant. You have to excuse the potatoes over here. If you look at my previous videos, I have potatoes. I've been doing a lot of little quick shorts on potatoes, but today it's tomatoes. Potato, tomato. So last year, you can see I have these little stilts. What they are is I can raise these up and down, and I raised it up in the last segment. That's why it's up there. But then I can cinch it down, and it actually built a whole structure system. These little lines right here were actually to all these loops here. I had two cherry tomato plants that grew up to the ceiling and were curved over. So that's the goal this year. Maybe I can get the big ones to do that too. This is what I'm going to try. But this one here is it's another cherry tomato. We were trying to get the same one as we had last year, which was a white cherry tomato, if I'm right. Yeah, a white cherry tomato. This one here is a sun cherry tomato. It's an extra sweet style of fruit, which, if you don't know, tomatoes are a fruit, not a vegetable. You're going to see I'm using soil for vegetables, but it works just fine with these. This plant here will yield in an early stage. It's already got some flowers on it. You can see right in here. It's already flowering like my other ones. You can see some flowers here. Some flowers here, which I self-pollinate. I self-pollinate my plants, and I already have some tomatoes growing. I have some pollinated, like these guys right here. They're already pollinated. I'll go over how to figure out how to show you that. It takes a little time, but it's well worth it. I don't have to rely on bees to do it. In a greenhouse, you're just hoping that they find them, which here where I'm at, I have no problem with bees. Just outside my greenhouse, they find this tree right here, and the name of it escapes me at the moment, and I just went to a festival this weekend for them. But anyways, so I don't rely on bees. I self-pollinate. I'll do a segment on that in the future, so stay tuned for that. What I'm gonna do here, and I started, like I said, I already did a take on this and it got ruined. So what I'm gonna show you here is I already cut a bottom leaf off. It was right there. I cut it off. Because what I'm getting ready to do is I don't just plant into the pot right here. It leaves all of this part right here wide open, and then you always have to have a stand, which I use them anyways. If you can see here, I use them. They really help. You can see this is really producing a bunch of it's like 3 plants into one on this one, so it's going to go crazy. Whereas this is only going to be one. So, you know, gardening is a science. Play with it. I'm going to bury this guy all the way up to at least right here. And if I can, I'm going to lay it down and then face it up. So what that'll do is by bending it up like that, it will, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it in this, maybe just a little bit, but it actually makes it stronger. And if you don't have the room for it, bury it as much as you can, you know, in excess of 6 inches above. So right here, we're to the second leaf, technically the third one, but that one doesn't count. The second leaf, you know, bury it all the way up to there. You're going to be happy with how sturdy it gets. It will produce longer, and it should produce more fruit. So ask most gardeners. This is stuff I've learned over the years, and it definitely works. So what happened in my previous take, I was going over my soil and what I'm using. So I'm using this Expert Gardener. It's especially for flowers, vegetables, and herbs. Like I said, tomatoes are a fruit, but this is great for tomatoes. It has a up to 6-month life feeding. Then I'm using a new, this is new-ish to me, this 3, 2, and 2 super green chicken fertilizer. What it is, it's a nitrogen base 3. It's at the 3%, and then it has the available phosphate at 2, and then a I can't read it from here, a soluble whatever at 2. That's the 3, 2, and 2. And then this guy right here, it's your Pro Mix. I mix this. It's an organic garden mix. I am not a person that really pays too much attention to whether it's organic or not. I pay attention to what I get results at, what produces the best, what works for me, where I'm at. That's something that you need to do for you and where you're at. You never know if you need something a bit sandier with a bit more drainage, because you may be getting different soils where you're at, or you know it's something that you play with from wherever you are in the world. And I've seen that there's other people in other parts of the world watching my videos, so look at where you're at and work with it there. It may be different from you. Use me as a base if you're just learning, and that's what this is about, just learning. So where the take got messed up is I was going to mix the soil, and I was going to have me start and then boop, done. Well, I'm done. And in between, the take got messed up. So this is what it looks like. The 3, 2, and 2, I ended up for this amount, and you know, I don't like, I'm not a master gardener, so I don't measure it. I go all by feel. I go by what I've done and used in the past. I used 2.5 scoops, just scoops like this of the 3, 2, and 2, not heaping, just like that, just a scoop of the 3, 2, and 2 for this. That has been working really well, obviously, with my other tomato plant right there. It is flourishing. And then this one here, I was able to do the way that I'm talking about with that one, because it was a lot smaller and I was able to work with it. This one's being a bit taller, I might not be able to do it. This is an heirloom tomato, and I don't remember the name of it. It's a Cherokee Purple. So it's going to be pretty big tomatoes. I love heirloom. Put them on a burger. Or my ultimate favorite is just to cut it in quarters, salt and pepper, and go to town. One other thing I'm putting in the soil, I just ate a banana. If you don't know about that, go back in my other videos with potatoes, banana peels, whole bananas, chop it up. Don't just throw a whole banana or even a whole peel in it. Chop it up into little pieces like this. It will disintegrate into your soil and restore the nutrients that the potato and tomatoes do really well in. I haven't tried it with anything else other than these two styles. I love, growing these two because we eat them both a lot in my house. So I'm gonna mix this up real quick. Just by hand. That's it right there. And you can see this is really dry. It's really dry. So sometimes I get them, well, when we get them, maybe it was raining and the bags are wet. If they are, I tend to take my dryer stuff and I mix it to where it's dried out a bit. This is not the case. So I gotta do a little bit of mixing myself here. I need some water. Doesn't take much, but it will take a good bit of mixing. You don't have to be neat with it, but I am definitely not trying to get it out of the bucket, because then guess who has to clean it up? Me. Then just kind of see how it's going. Kind of wanting to clump together a little bit. You don't want clayey soil, but in this case, it sticking together would mean that you've got it too wet. We don't want too wet to begin with. As you're seeing this, if any questions come up or if you like something, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them, just as long as I see them. And remember, like, share, and subscribe. This is a new channel, and I'm trying to get it off the ground, get it to other people here that maybe they don't know how to do this kind of stuff. So now you can see it's not just the dry soil that looks like the desert sand falling out of your hand. All right, so now what I'm going to do, it's good that I have big hands when doing this, because it doesn't take long to empty that thing. So I got maybe a quarter of the way there. We'll take this plant, we'll measure. See, it will need a bit more of a taller one if we were to do it the way I like to do it. Now, if you don't have the means to do it that way, by all means, maybe take it all the way to maybe a 1/4 inch down from the bottom, and then plant it from there all the way up to the top, because what will happen is as you're watering it, the soil does settle a bit. So even going to the top, it will settle and start biodegrading because the plant's, you know, feeding on it. So that's a good way to remember. You don't have to worry about it so much. We'll go ahead and pull this stick out for the moment. Crush it like that, and then give it a good shake. Voila. What you want to do, since I have it nice and held up, pull it apart a little bit. Pull that thing apart a little bit. Go sideways. Yeah, you can see it. So see how I took it a little bit sideways there? And kind of pull it down. Don't break it. If it's trying to break, leave it alone. And just plant it. You don't want to break it. So now that I've gotten it like that, it's over to the side a little bit, and that's going to be fine. Because what we're going to do, we'll straighten it up as we go. Don't mind the chicken in the background. That's just Greta. She's my boisterous one. She is a little angry right now. She's pitching a fit because we have 3 little chicks. Look back in my video and I introduced them. And what we did is we put them in the coop area in a small little dog pen, so we can get them, you know, a bit more acclimated to being outside and get, you know, like her, the one that throws a fit the most, more used to them because, you know, she's already seen them. This is about their 3rd, 4th time being out. So it's, you know, it's not a shock to them because, you know, this is their area, and if they have 3 new chickens come out, it's gonna be a bad day for somebody. And one of those somebodies is me, because I don't want to do something bad with a chicken. I don't want nothing bad happening to my chickens. All right, so we'll just toss that away right there. So now what we can do is just clear away some of this soil. Pack it down a little bit. That stick that came with it, just reuse it. Also comes with this little Velcro right here. This is a soft Velcro, easy to use. They always use it there. I've bought my own in the past because I like using it for tomatoes. It works really well with it. But notice there is play with it. You don't want to cinch it down. If you cinch it down, you're essentially going to choke the plant. You don't want to do that. You want to leave it some play. That way it has room to grow and breathe, because this is a living thing, and you don't want to treat them wrong. You want to treat them right. And, you know, even coming out and touching the leaves, hey, they like it. Trust me, I'm not one of those people, but trust me, over the years of growing tomatoes, this stuff works. I didn't mix enough soil, but that's okay. I will in just a minute to help cut this segment a little bit short, because this is the longest one I've ever done. It's about 20 minutes, and we'll see how this goes. We see how you guys like it. I'm got another job that was just given to me here. This is a purple cabbage, or cauliflower. I keep calling it cabbage. I don't know why. Purple cauliflower. My fiance wanted, you know, she buys plants. She bought that tomato plant. And I say we, but She buys them and then goes, hey, I like this. Guess who's doing the work? Oh, we can't forget. This is also a Thai basil, Thai Sam Queen basil. You can read that there. So basil, we love basil here too. It grows really good with everything that we have going on here. So I've got more jobs to do. And here's Greta. There she goes. She's the loudest one right there. There's little Greta. There's Penelope. She's chilling in the shade. I hear one of our other ones. We have Elvira. She's off somewhere too. And so yeah. Anyways, you'll get to know some more of the small little farm that we have here as you watch this. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. I'm new to this. I'm trying to get it off of the ground, just to show people, expose them to maybe something that you know, they don't have to feel like they don't know anything, because I started not knowing anything. And we're just gonna show progress on how all of this goes. I just seem to be pretty well at figuring it out. So thank you again, and enjoy the show. Have a great day.